It's Erev Parshas Va'era. We're in Mitzrayim. We're going to start giving plagues to the Mitzrayim. Why should they get 10 plagues? Why not just take the Jews out? What purpose did those 10 plagues serve? You know, there's a lot that goes on in the world that we don't know about. We don't understand so many things. Where were you before you were here? You say, up there. Of course, if you were in China, you'd say, up here. We don't know the world of spirit that we came from. We don't remember any of that. All we know is that we went into the mother's womb and we were sitting there and we got taught all the Torah, and then an angel went, boop, make you forget the Torah, and then you come out. So it's a confusing world we live in. What else? How is it that a wise man can have a foolish child, or a tzaddik, a holy man, can have an evil child? We don't understand these things. How is it that a brown cow can eat green grass and give us white milk? It's a major, major problem in philosophy. So, Hashem wanted to create a world. He wanted to put people in it. He wanted the people to love him, truly love him, make a choice. Now, if you're sitting in class and the teachers write up at the board looking at all of you, you're probably not going to misbehave. But if the teacher has to go out of the room for a little while, fun time. For some kids, it's fun time. For some kids, it's sit there and wait for the teacher to come back. So Hashem recognized this problem that if I just make the world and they all see me present everywhere and everything, then they'll all do everything I say, just like the angels, because they have no choice. I want to create a world of choice. So he did what they call in Kabbalah, Tzimtzum. He withdrew himself from the world that he created somewhat, so that he's not visible, he's not obvious. I mean, there's a billion, trillion things around us that are just too incredible. Like vision, right? Like hearing, like love, like anger. All these things, they're there. We don't understand them. They're powerful forces. Everybody has them. So Hashem withdrew himself somewhat from the creation, and the creation was created with 10 utterances, we say. Now, there's another 10 in the world, in the Torah. What's that? Aseret Divros, the 10 Commandments, right? Well, these two tens have something to do with each other. When Hashem created the world of 10 utterances, he created a world that was not full of everything. He withdrew himself from this world so that you could look around and say, wow, look at all these miracles I'm confronted with every moment. Life itself, people. Or you could look around and say, there's no God. You see God? I don't see God. There's no God. So that darkness overcame the world, and in particular it overcame Mitzrayim, which was the darkest of all the countries in terms of being bad. So that's where Hashem sent us. And Hashem sent us down there and said, I'm going to bring you out with signs and wonders. 10 of them to be exact. And the Chidushei Harim, a Torah commentator from hundreds of years ago, says each of the Makos, the plagues, that Hashem brought to the Mitzrayim was to correct what was missing from each of the 10 utterances, words, with which Hashem created the world. So Hashem was perfecting the world to the point that he could bring the Torah down and we could accept it. So each of the plagues, while it was devastating Mitzrayim and making Paro to the point where he would let us go, was also correcting something in the universe. So then we get out to Har Sinai, and now Hashem can give us the Torah, because the world has been brought to the point where the Torah can come to us. Now, there's another problem, aside from seeing God or not seeing God. Have you ever stared directly at the sun for 10 minutes? I hope not. There are ways you can look at a solar eclipse, like a box with a pinhole in it, or say through something really dark, but don't just try it yourself. So the problem is, it says in the Torah that Hashem said to Moshe, "No man can see me and live." You see the full revelation of me, you'll just disappear into nothing. So that's a problem for Hashem revealing himself to us. And that's exactly what happened. On Har Sinai, Hashem started speaking the 10 Commandments. He spoke the first commandment, we all died. Then he brought us back to life. Then he spoke the second commandment, we all died. Then he brought us back to life. And at the point, all the Jewish people said, "Oh, enough already. We can't die 613 times. It's just a strain on the system." So Moshe, could you just tell us the rest from Hashem? Hashem will tell you, you tell us. Say, okay. And that's why we have a phrase in the Torah, Torah Tzivlana Moshe. What's the numerical value of Torah? Is it 613? Because there are 630 commandments? No. Tav is 400, Resh is 200, Vav is 6, and Hey is 5, 211. 611. Moshe gave us 611 mitzvahs, but there are 613. Who gave us the other two? Right, Hashem. The first two he gave us when we kept dying. There are other amazing things with us going down to Mitzrayim. It wasn't just that we had to go down there and be slaves for 210 years and work real hard and then come out. There was a lot more going on that we don't know and understand. For example, when Moshe went down, when Moshe was talking to Hashem about, at the burning bush, about going down, he said, "But they won't believe me." So Hashem said, "Moshe, what's that you're holding in your hand?" Stick. Put it on the ground. Put it on the ground. It became a snake. Hashem said, "Pick it up." He grabbed it by the tail, became a stick again. Now, Moshe, take your hand and stick it inside your shirt. Now pull it out. How is it? It's all white. I've got leprosy. I've got saras. Now stick it back in. Now pull it out. All clean. Now, the third thing is, you're going to take water out of the Nile, and you're going to pour it on the ground, and it's going to become blood. So these are the three signs we'll show to the Mitzrayim. Now, how do those three signs relate to anything else? 3 generations. Generation of Enosh was the generation in which people started worshiping idols. And the snake is a symbol of idol worship, of Avodah Zorah. And then in the generation of the flood, Dor HaMabul, the people were all doing terrible sins. So it's like Saras, the white hand. So that was the second generation. And the third sign was from the Dor HaFlaga, the building of the Tower of Babel. When they didn't value human life, they only valued bricks. If a person fell and died, they didn't care. But if a brick fell and broke, it's, "Ay, a brick!" So these are the 3 signs from the sea symbols, and these 3 generations had to be corrected for. And so Hashem said, when you go to Mitzrayim, you're going to show these 3 signs to the Jewish leaders, and they know that these are the 3 sins for which the world is being judged. And they know that you're going to, when you show them these 3 signs, they'll know, okay, this is the man who has been sent up by Hashem to redeem us. So, our job is to delve into the Torah. Each of us to live a Torah life and to learn Torah, and it's through these activities that we draw close to Hashem. And as we draw close to Hashem can draw close to the world. The world can end in tragedy or in triumph. And it's up to you and me and him and her. So, a good Shabbos to you all. And I would say see you next week, but I'm really just looking at myself right here. So I'll see you the next time I see you. Love you all. Bye.